This lecture focuses on the reasons that we use social media. And all of you, if we were to have a discussion, a synchronous discussion about why you use social media, you probably have some similarities, but you also have some differences, some unique differences about why you use social media. So let's take a look at some of them. The first one is for information. Right? Sometimes you access social media to gather information. Maybe you are part of a group or an organization through social media, or just in terms of generally with friends, and you want to keep up on how they're doing, that sort of thing. You use social media for that. You're probably familiar with the term crowdsourcing, right? Which is when you get on something like Facebook and you ask for recommendations from your friends, right? You want to go, what restaurant would you go to if you're in this area, or where would you purchase this product, or anybody have this product and what do you think about it, right? So that's crowdsourcing. You're asking for feedback from people in order to make decisions on your own. And so you might find that you use social media for that purpose. It might be for personal relationships, establishing those relationships. One of the things that I benefited from through social media usage, and in fact, through Facebook groups, is, my situation was my dad was in the military, and I grew up traveling to different places. My dad was stationed in different places, and some of you may have had that experience or have friends who have done that. And so one of the things is that you live somewhere for 3 or 4 years, you get to know people, you go to school with them, and then you move somewhere else, and you repeat that process for as long as your father or mother are in the military. And so I had that experience, and one of the things I was able to do years later is to reconnect with a lot of my high school friends from when my father was stationed in Japan. And so a lot of the other kids whose parents were in the military, we went to the same school. And so I was able to reconnect with them. So Facebook has been very beneficial to me in terms of reestablishing those personal relationships. So it's not only maintaining relationships, but it's also establishing relationships. So you might also meet new people online and through social media. And these are generally people that you don't necessarily have a romantic relationship with, but maybe have interests that are in common. And so that's a way of beginning relationships that, depending on how they go, you may wind up maintaining through social media. Personal identity. And this is simply through our interactions with people, and more people than we might engage face-to-face. The feedback that we get from them is something that will help us establish or adjust our identity. And in chapter 3, you'll learn a little bit more about this idea of how others impact the way that we view ourselves, and how that affects our self-esteem and self-worth. Some people, as it says here, look for validation from people that they respect and trust. So it kind of serves as a perception check about, am I really a funny person, right? I tell jokes, so I think I'm funny, but if my friends tell me that I'm not funny, then maybe that helps me to reevaluate, well, okay, I'm really maybe not as funny as I thought I was, or I need better jokes. Or, yes, I am funny because my friends react positively to my sense of humor, right? So that's just an example of how that might apply to you. But we use it to nurture our personal identity and to make changes to our personal identity. This is different from identity management. Necessarily, it's part of it, it might lead to it, but we're talking about how we view ourselves based on the validation from other people. Okay. Entertainment, right? You might be a person who gets on social media to do things like play games or share hobbies or join fan sites or whatever it is, right? So there's lots of stuff available through social media, and it's a way for us to entertain ourselves aside from face-to-face interaction with other people or groups. So those are some of the things that we utilize social media for. Are there other things that you use use social media for? This is certainly not an exhaustive list, but it gives you some idea of some of those things, and it may ring true for some of you. But again, like I mentioned at the beginning, there might be some unique reasons why you engage in social media.